Sometimes I go like this. But then I stop. This has been one of those times. Hello, my fellow Muppeteers. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to the channel. I'm taking Mark Jones's advice, and I'm doing another QI reaction. This one is a compilation of David Mitchell's best moments. And, gosh, there's so many people from the UK I absolutely fucking love now because of this channel. And because of you guys for all the recommendations you've been giving me. But at this point, you guys know David Mitchell is one of my favorites as well. And I did the Sean Locke reaction to him being on QI, a compilation of bits from him. So I felt like this was a no-brainer because David Mitchell's probably got a couple rants in here, which I always love to hear. So I hope you enjoy this reaction video. Remember to like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And David, talk to us. Tell us what you're mad about. Here we go.
What mustn't you feed hedgehogs?
Bread and milk.
Exactly, bread and milk is a bad idea. People do it gives them diarrhea and they dry out.
Really feed bread and milk to any mammal, including humans.
But there is a Radio 4 show that deals...
come off it.
Well,
you shouldn't feed humans bread and milk.
No, not really.
What do you mean, not really? It's absolutely demonstrably fine.
No, it's not very good for you.
Well, it's fine.
Bread and butter
I've been
pudding.
drinking milk and eating bread for ages. Why is it suddenly a massive problem? Oh,
Yeah.
no, actually, we're supposed to live till we're 250. But no, we're eating all this poisonous bread and milk all the time. We can barely live past 98. It's ridiculous. Of course we're supposed to eat bread and milk. Not just bread and milk.
Oh, poor Alan.
No,
Don't
no.
bully him. Poor Alan.
It's not...
You shake hands and be friends.
Sorry,
now.
Alan.
Well, first rant's out of the way. And I agree. I agree with that. Although I have been I can never cut down on milk. I fucking love milk. But bread, I've been cutting down a lot of bread to try to get rid of this bad boy. It's still a work in progress. I feel like I've inflated everywhere else, but this hasn't disappeared. I've gotten more muscle, but I actually took the advice. I saw a comment. It was like, Boomer, you need to cut out the bread if you want to lose that. So I've been doing that and running twice as much. And in the past 10 days, I've lost 10 pounds. So, which, you know, when I first started working out like 5-6 months ago, whenever it was, I initially lost 10 pounds and then it just stopped there. But I kept gaining weight everywhere else because I was building muscle. Now, I've finally lost 10 more. So maybe the cutting the bread out was right. I haven't cut out bread completely, but I've barely eaten any bread so far. So in the past 10 days. So hopefully I can do better.
Don't clean a teapot.
You don't clean a teapot,
You should never
David.
clean a teapot.
No.
Under no circumstance.
Under no circumstances.
No, well,
It's
okay.
being
I'm
used
gonna-
as a
let me-
teapot.
You came in and couldn't find the loo one night.
I have only
I'm on a hunch, but I sense a hypothetical situation.
This is not a hypothetical situation. I've only ever used a teapot for tea. But occasionally, if you make sort of tea in a teapot once in a blue moon when you can be bothered in a vague attempt to seem more civilised than you actually are, you then sort of leave, still got a bit of tea in
you
it.
left
some
it to
tea
go.
from
Oh, yeah, you
home,
rinse it
leave
out.
No, you don't rinse it out
it
because you forget,
stains.
because immediately you're tired of being civilised and you want to go to the pub. You leave it there for weeks and weeks and months, and then when you have a look in it, it's gone disgustingly mouldy.
And it's talking to you.
Yeah.
At that point, the flavour that you would get if you didn't wash it from your next cup of tea is, if anything, too characterful. The thing that seems unfair to me is the number of people who are expected to pretend they care about jobs they don't care about. You should be allowed to say, look, I'm fulfilling my contract. You can't put in the contract, also you have to seem like you give a shit. I think that's expecting too much. Yeah. That's why I really like the fact that we live in a country with such poor customer service. I've got respect for that. You know? This is a horrible train, you're tearing tickets. Of course you're in an awful mood.
Now that you've put it like that, I shall feel better about it. You're right. Why have a cheesy grin on your face if you are working in an awful supermarket?
Well, it's the sign either of a liar or a moron.
Yeah.
Note to self: if I ever manage to get over to the UK and visit, don't expect good customer service. I like how David Mitchell was proud of that. I've said it before too. If I do ever make it to the UK, I want to have a beer at a pub and have the bartender just insult me. Hopefully he calls me a Muppet, because oh my God, I would pop. I would be like, yes, I've made it in life. A Brit bartender called me a Muppet. I would love that.
You know when you find a bee and it's crawling on its last legs?
I always rescue them.
You give it honey. It's the only thing they eat. Makes sense when you think about it.
Isn't it true, though, that a bee in his entire lifetime makes an absolutely tiny amount of honey overall? I mean, just a
But they're just
minute
lots
amount
of
of
them.
honey.
Yeah,
So you don't have to give much rehabilitating honey to this one bee before the nation, the world, is making a net loss. It's useless. If you only get 1 teaspoon of honey from a whole bee's lifetime, and every time we have to get it back on its feet, it takes a teaspoon and a half, suddenly there's no honey at all.
This is more honey than this bee has seen in its life.
Yeah.
It's just
You're insulting it, apart from anything else. It's like showing a very tired mason a whole cathedral.
David Mitchell looking out for the bees.
Very interesting and surprising, because almost everybody thinks that vertical stripes make people look slimmer. In fact, in prisons, sometimes women have asked for
Johnny
vertical
Vegas
or
sighting.
horizontal stripes so that they look leaner, or they think they'll look leaner. But it turns out, research from a man called Dr. Peter Thompson of York University has discovered that the large majority think the one in the vertical stripe is larger than the one in the horizontal stripe when they are the same size.
Surely this shows, actually, that it makes no real difference at all. Because we're determining whether wearing vertical or horizontal stripes makes you look thinner.
Yeah.
And you can't tell by looking. You have to do research. Yes. The difference is so slight, you have to do research with hundreds and hundreds of people. Basically, people look as fat or thin as they are.
I beg to differ.
I have a friend who's quite short, and he likes to wear vertical stripes because they make him look taller.
Only when he's not standing next to anyone. It's not going to make him look taller than a taller man. It's all relative. He'll just say, oh, there's a normal-sized man next to an enormous man. And then you go, oh, thank God, he's taking his striped shirt off. It's actually a tiny man next to a normal man.
I've missed your angry logic, David, I have to say.
I think it just alternates, doesn't it? Because for ages you think, OK, vertical stripes make people look thinner. Then you say, oh, she's wearing vertical stripes, therefore she must be fatter than she looks. Therefore you start thinking, oh, she looks fatter because she's wearing vertical stripes. So suddenly horizontal stripes start making you look thinner because, oh, she must be thin, otherwise she'd never dare wear horizontal stripes. Then they go, oh, no, horizontal stripes make you look thinner. Oh, she must be fat, she's wearing horizontal
He's ranting. Yo! I wish I had a friend like David Mitchell, I really do. As long as he didn't act like Mark Corrigan. Then you'd be in trouble if he was your friend.
What would you use one of these for?
What would I use it for, or what is it meant for?
Oh, isn't this for fish? Getting things out of fish.
Ah, interesting thought.
On the Swiss Army knife, there's one for scooping out a fish eye.
They're not as difficult to get out, the eye of a fish, are they? They're pretty squidgy, unless the fish is still alive. Fish don't blink, which is the main eye defence. If you're ever trying to get the eye out of a fish and it blinks, it may be a lion.
Which is correct of these grocers, or grocers? It's grocers apostrophe.
One of the requirements of being a sign printing company is having a basic knowledge of where an apostrophe goes.
They know.
Did he say it was grocers with the apostrophe after all the letters? Because that's what I would have guessed.
All sign writing companies know, for example, how to spell accommodation. They must. And I reckon when they say, OK, we're doing a sign for your guest house, would you like our normal service, or would you like our deluxe gold 5 times the price service? Well, we'll check your spelling for you. And everyone goes, no, it's all right, I'm not going to pay 5 times as much for you to check the spelling. They go, OK. Inevitably, OK, we're going to paint the word accommodation the way you've put it there, are we? In the knowledge that they'll have to get called back all the sooner when the people finally realise they've got it wrong. It's just every time you see accommodation properly painted and misspelt, the sign writer knew. Bloody minded, he'd putting it out there wrong, knowing he'd get a repeat gig all
You
the
can see
sooner.
how long he's been looking for a flat.
That was good.
When was the First World War first named as such?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably when the Second World War started. I would guess, 1939, 1940 maybe. It officially started in 39, even though the Japanese were wreaking havoc for years before that. But I would guess the year that they called it the First World War. 1939 or 1940 would be my guess. I guess I got to pick one. Maybe it took them a while to realize it was going to be a world war. I don't know. I'll go with 1940.
The outbreak, the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand.
You think they called it the First World War straight
Before
away?
it started.
It would be an act of a pessimist to call it the First World War that early, surely. It's going to be some point after 1939, isn't it?
A realist, surely.
So
it's going to be more of these.
Yeah.
At
what point? Excuse me. I think what I said, people in the box, is after 1939,
Yes,
which may
did.
contain 1939, but does not mean it.
No, well,
See, that bit right there is like, that's a feature that makes me go want to watch it. Like, the message board just fucks with the panelist, That shit's funny to me.
After 1939 and after the Second World War are not synonymous. Now, this is just giving you time to type after 1939.
Oh, it's great.
Why don't you just type, Mitchell is a cop?
I wouldn't put it past them.
We never got an answer, though. When was it called the First World War? Somebody help me out in the comments below. Let me know what year they officially called World War I the First World War. There we go.
And finally, how many brains did the man with 2 brains have?
2.
Yes. That's brilliant.
Hey, it's Grand Warden.
Yeah, he's wise enough to have spotted double bluff.
It's just the technique of the bully. You hit us. And then you go, oh, what do you think I was going to hit you? I'm not going to hit you. Oh, I'm just as my hand to stroke you. And we're here.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love David Mitchell's rants, and I love David Mitchell the man. And I would love to have him as a friend. But not if he's like Mark Corian. Good stuff. I liked it. This show looks fun, man. If you have any recommendations for clips to watch from QI, please throw them at me, because this show looks fun. But it also it looks a bit intimidating, because it's probably just Stephen Fry. I mean, that guy is so smart, and my intelligence level could only hope to become a fraction of what his is. So when I see Stephen Fry hosting it, I get intimidated. I'm like, this is probably too smart for me. But I know there's going to be comments like, "Hey, you putting yourself down, Boomer. You're smarter than you think." Yeah, but it does look like a fun show, though. And hey, even though I did a Sean Locke compilation and a David Mitchell compilation, I see all the faces in there. Most of them I recognize, and it looks like loads of fun, and it looks like you can learn things, which is great. I wish we had these kind of shows like this in the United States. Man, I feel like we're missing out. So you guys should be proud of that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the reaction. Mark Jones, thank you for the recommendation. And remember to like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want. And I'll see you again soon. Don't be a Muppet, unless you're my Muppet. All right, peace out, Booms. Take care.